spiritual wars that begin everything that American troops have done in Iraq, all the fighting, all the dying, the bleeding, the building, the training, the partnering, all of it has led to this moment of success.
Better than tyranny, corruption, and torture chambers. You deserve to live as free people, and I assure every citizen of Iraq, your nation will soon be free.
Yo, E.T.C.E. Yeah. Let me holler at you for a second, bro. You remember me? Yeah. When I used to rule the world. Until you put me in this motherfucking shithole. But it's all good. I forgive you, E.T.C.E. But I've been hearing some crazy stuff, man. And you've been polluting the sea. You've been polluting the air. You've been polluting the water. All the animals are crying out against you, E.T.C.E. Most High ain't happy with your ass. I just gotta tell you, when I get out of this place, when the Most High come back, I'm gonna chew your ass, E.T.C.E. Your ass is gonna be mine. Believe that.
Hello, I am Priest of the Most High, Lucifer D. Lambew, and you are watching the Lampshade's current events, end of days. The world is changing, O Israel. Freakish weather conditions, super tornadoes, typhoons, tsunamis, record-breaking flash floods, droughts, famine, pestilence, and hunger. In addition, we face global instability, financial crisis, the fall of the US dollar, civil unrest, a police state, the RFID chip, aka the mark of the beast, leading up to World War III. One world currency, one world religion, one world government, aka the New World Order. And did I mention aliens, bruh? The Lampshade's Blood Moon Saga complete series has ended. But it's done. You can go back at any time and watch all 7 seasons. Check out our journey from when we were, coon Christian pastors, and I was chained to finding out the truth and knowing that we were Israelites from the tribe of Judah, finding out who the real God was and is and will always be. And that's Yah and his son, Yeshua HaMashiach. 7 seasons come and gone. But make sure, because you don't know when the internet's going to go down. You don't know when any of the calamities that are coming that will come to pass. Will make viewing the internet, will make viewing websites and things that you are used to seeing online no longer accessible.
Hello, and welcome back. We're back. Today we're going to be talking about C.E.R.N. and the different types of escalations that we're seeing in the news circle of everywhere. We're going to talk about the animals and how they're changing, the way their interactions with man is changing, like the ants and so forth. And we're also going to be talking about the changes in the people as we get closer to the end of this blood moons. So we got the ants, the people, and finally we're going to talk about, not in this order of course, we're going to go over what's been going on with us and why we was gone for a little over a month on this show. All right? So let's go ahead and get into this, bro. First off, I want to say, Mirror Images 3 is already available. Mirror Images 3, the 3rd installment of the Mirror Images movies. And we are working on Mirror Images 4 now. You should see some sort of an advertisement, bro, coming up soon. So pay attention for that. Just a little longevity for you. Also, want to talk to you guys about the why we were gone for over a month now, bro. Apparently, if you haven't watched our Lampshades Under Investigations, episode of this show, go ahead and do that, because this portion is going to be a kind of a continuation of that, bro. And we got these motherfucking pigs ever since we put on. Like, they've been watching us since we started this, but now after we shot the last one concerning the police violence and the torture in America, we're starting to get out, and we have a lot of more views on our site. Got a lot of more views, more notice, and now we were looking at on our online and whatnot, and the online thing turned off. It turned off, bro. I mean, it just like shut down. They actually the government sent some sort of internet virus to our systems here, and they shut our internet down. We couldn't get in it. It wasn't working. The computers, we know it came from the government. There's cyber warfare, from these demons, these devils. Because any computer that we had set up or connected to our network was affected. I mean, even our PlayStations that were PlayStation 3 that was connected to the network shut down and ceased to function. So that was a great indicator that we were actually being under cyber attack here at Lampshades Ministries. Okay, and we couldn't get back on. Now, and you hear this in the news, some of these news cycles, bro, where they're dealing with. There was one case where they were dealing with somebody they suspected of doing a crime or something of that nature, and they shut down his internet. Then they came posing as Comcast or something to his to wherever he was living, and then they set up a whole bunch of cameras in his house, invaded his privacy, and then based on their lie, they got some evidence, and then and they tried to use it in jail, and it just so happened that the judge threw it out because they had no permission to be in his house under false pretenses and set up all these cameras under false pretenses while they was really the FBI, really the cops. So it kind of gave us a feeling of that in our life, you know, except, you know, they want to see what we're doing, they can just look at the show. They're more than welcome to watch. We got nothing to hide, though. Of course, you know, the Constitution and people's rights to privacy is so far removed from the everyday workings of the police. It's not even funny. But nonetheless, though, so we called the Comcast person to come down, and then, you know, this Comcast person was E.T.C.E, you know, so-called Mexican, and we got a chance to talk a little bit about the 12 tribes of Israel and so. And I don't have a picture of it right now, but we had one of those boxes that was very small, and when the Comcast person came back to replace it, they had a huge box. Now these huge boxes, it's not, you don't have to be a techno geek to understand that the new box that we had to put in order for our internet to work was laden with, you know, software and stuff that allows the government to be able to track what websites we go to, everything we're doing. We'll probably have like a shadow pages where they can actually watch what we're getting into and what we're writing and all that kind of stuff. I mean, major surveillance, and also to kind of echo that point of their major surveillance that they're having on us, and probably on all these other different various camps that are coming out with the truth, and identifying fallen angels, these demons, as the orators of this architectural, financial, economic slavery that they have the American people and the world under. But just another bit of kind of evidence for this surveillance was we began to see people parked, white cars with no license plates, with black windows, parked on a corner where our house is, and we actually saw them having a little circular thing with another thing that protrudes through it, like they could listen to sound through walls or whatever, and they were pointing it at our house. And then when we came outside, like, what the hell? The fuck is this, bro? All of a sudden, they drive off. They would leave. And they did that. We caught them, like, doing surveillance on our house 3 or 4 times during this month period that we were not available online. You know, and we still under surveillance with these wicked ass cops, just because of the nature of the truth and information that we're making available, bruh, online for free for anybody who is interested in knowing the truth to see. You know, and it's not just us. This has been happening with the police trying to infiltrate, the government trying to infiltrate black organizations, black groups, so-called black organizations, for a very long time, like the last 60, 70, 75 years. Even longer, probably since we got off the slave ship with the chains on. But it's ramping up now because of, you know, the blood moons, because of the Israelite truth that's coming out, because of the God of Israel, Yah, coming back in the time period for which these devils had control and dominion is vastly coming to an end. Their kingdom is crumbling. So we expected to have some more engagements with the police and with these devils. So that's no surprise now, bro. No surprise at all. All right. So the month off was largely due to our internet not working, and us also having to deal with those other issues, as well as we finished up Mirror Images number 3, which is also, like I said again, available. Now, let's go a little deeper. There's a what the fuck's going on with these animals? There's a lot going on with, like, ants. We're seeing a huge amount of movement in with ants, bees, with different types of rodents and whatnot that are looks like they're migrating, they're moving in mass, and for no really apparent reason. I mean, there's no food for for them, but yet you see thousands of them on the ground, on your cabinets, on your table, or whatever, whatnot. It feels like, that maybe we might have an earthquake that's going to come, because a lot of times there's animals. The animal world feels tremors and stuff that come from the ground a lot better than any of these scientists can do, or can learn, or can predict. So, we're seeing, not only do you have the die-offs of all these animals, but when it comes to like the insect world, you're seeing just an influx of just thousands and thousands of them. And when you observe them on the ground, I mean, they look like they lost their fucking mind. I mean, they're moving left to right, but they ain't got no food with them. They just look like they're in a state of confusion. Now, could it be an earthquake? Yes. I mean, there's hundreds of earthquakes going on all around the world. There's a lot of earthquakes going on in America itself, in California. So that probably has a lot to do with it. But then it could also, in addition to that, be Fukushima and the radiation that we're getting from the coast and from the sea. All this radiated water that turns into vapor, radiated rain, and all that kind of good stuff. That may be another reason why the animal kingdom is not only having to die off, but also the nature of these animals we're starting to see some changes in their nature in terms of like just more aggressiveness, confusion, mass confusion, and so forth. So you want to take a look at that. Also, there's a quantum shift going on in terms of like the people in America as well. I mean, and maybe even all around the world. As these blood moons have been progressing, as we get closer to the last blood moon, a dread is starting to escalate in the minds of these heathens, of these Gentiles. And since Obama got into the presidency, we're starting to see an influx of interracial relationships. These motherfucking Edomites are doing a full point press to try to mix their seed now, even more so, with so-called Negroes. I mean, you can't walk down the street without seeing, 3 or 4, so-called Negroes being spit at or talked to by these Edomites, these Edomite bitches, these white, self-proclaimed white women. And I had to go downtown myself, and I needed a pen or whatever or whatnot. And just on a personal note, these crazy ass Edomites was lining up to try to engage in conversation and entreat a motherfucker. But there's nobody's motherfucker interested in a motherfucking Edomite bitch, okay? A melanin deficient mutant ass Edomite bitch. But for those of us who knows the truth about the fact that the original people were so-called, black people, that they had melanin. Adam and Eve was a so-called black person. Those of us who know the truth that we're Israelites and the Most High ain't feeling the motherfucking white man or the white woman and all this interracial bullshit. Right? But see, they know that their time is going short, so it's like you can just see it. There's a desperation for them to try to mix the seed of so-called Negroes. It's almost like just that their handlers, these demons, are like, dude, if we could mix this seed, if we can keep these so-called Negroes sitting just a little bit longer, then we can hold on to power. That's what it's really all about. But see, that's not gonna be the case. And of course, they got their Obama, this so-called Kenyan guy who was supposedly mixed with him, a Kenyan man and a white Edomite woman. So he's the poster child for interracial relations, as well as being the poster child for gays, lesbians, and all the degenerates as well. so, and all of this is going skyrocketing towards the coming of the final blood moon in September. You see, so you got animals going fucking nuts, rodents, ants, all that kind of stuff. You got the people, you know, at this massive deception, this massive push to try to mix the races. All of a sudden, you see it on television, on news. You see it on, you know, commercials, all kinds of stuff. They're pushing that mixing of the races, especially with the Edomites, very, very, very strongly. And you also have a huge influx of deaths. You know, black people, so-called black people being killed by these crazy ass cops. So much so that it's hard to report on it. It's like every other day, there's another motherfucker, unarmed black man getting killed. There's another unarmed black teen getting a gun pointed at their face. There's another black military service person who gets killed in police custody or ends up dead in police custody. And it's happening over and over and stronger and stronger and stronger, you know, and more numerous. More numerous as the lead up to the Most High's appearance, to the lead up of you know, the final blood moon. So what can we expect on the final blood moon? If you haven't known it yet, did you know that it's a Jubilee? And not only just any Jubilee, it falls on a super Jubilee, a 49 Jubilee super, basically. And that Jubilee was supposed to be to free the people of their debt, of the Israelites of their debts, and set the captives free. Anybody who was a slave of Israel in the Jubilee would get released. And if you had land, it would be returned to you. Now, a brother ain't got no land, brother ain't got, you know, us Israelites, we're poor, we ain't got, you know, all the money in the world, but, so the Most High, you know, he can go ahead and set us free. The freeing of the slaves. Who you think he was referring to? Super Jubilee, baby, September. So all this stuff that they're doing, you know, all this ratcheting up of their evil, all this revealing of all their wickedness that's escalating is for naught. Because, you know, come the Most High's arrival, he's gonna give Israel their kings, their kingship, the anointed. And the anointed is gonna have the neck of our enemies. It's gonna be, you know, Esau ass kicking time, basically. And it's coming really soon. Really soon. And the governments already know about it. They got climate calamity that's on the that they're talking about. They got a meteor coming to the earth that they're talking about. They got planet Nibiru right around the sun, waiting to do its little peekaboo, you know, possibly even around this Jubilee, Super Jubilee in September that's coming. You know, I mean, anybody who don't know that this place is going down, anybody who don't know that the self-proclaimed white man's kingdom is crumbling, that his dollar is crumbling, that, you know, his system is crumbling, is a fucking idiot, blind. You know, are deceived, self-deceived. Because it's obvious. It's getting so obvious, it's hard to even report about all this stuff. And this stuff's coming just like a tidal wave. Like a huge 100-foot tsunami. Alright, bro? You know, so we definitely we're gonna keep on pushing out the videos. We're gonna keep spanning the news, spanning the internet. You know, looking for evidence and things that are happening to be able to report it to you, to be able to bring it to you. If you haven't seen every one of the episodes of the Blood Moon Saga, starting from season 1 and moving your way all the way to season 7, be sure to do so. Because this is a truth that they do not want on the internet. This is a truth that they do not want to be available to you. If you haven't watched the Bible study hosted by Priest of the Most High, Sakuma Z Lambew, make sure that you watch that as well from beginning to end. I think he has like 7 blocks of videos for that, and make sure they're all featured on our front page, on our website page. So make sure you go through them too, from Israelite fundamentals all the way down to the end. They're in order, and they all are the proof biblically and straight out of the Bible for what we speak about, what we talk about, what we preach about. Also, if you haven't watched every single one of the end times current events, make sure you do so, because every single one of these things actually correlate to reveal a huge picture that is kind of difficult to actually really have unless you see all the little pieces that come together to formulate together. Also, we've had some really excellent episodes where we go over a lot of stuff from aliens to comets to fallen angels and these white devils, and there's just so much information going on each and every day. If you haven't watched Torture in America, woo, bruh, what have you been doing all your life? Make sure you go back and watch that, because that's an eye opener for anybody, any coon that thinks that this country is his rest, America, and that these white devils are his friends. I mean, yeah, make sure you see that too. But nonetheless, again, we're back, baby. We're back, bruh. And you're gonna see a whole lot more of these newscasts. So stay tuned, stay ready, and keep your eyes on the sky, because for those of you, O Israel, redemption is nigh.
Are you ready, O Israel, for the end of days? Planet Nibiru, polar shifts, gigantic meteorites the size of cities hitting the earth? You better have your Yahshua HaMashiach seatbelt on, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Lampshades Ministry is an Israelite ministry from the house of Judah, and we do not accept tithes and offerings of money. The word of God is for free and not for sale, bruh, at any price. I'm your host, priest of the Most High, Lucifer D. Lambew. Join us next time if you're still breathing and one of these worldwide calamities haven't ghosted your ass. This is the Lampshades, current events, end of days. Shalom, bruh.
Wake up, so-called African Americans, Black Americans, let me tell you the truth. Liberty or a niece, the choice of a Jew. You're a Hebrew, brother, you're a Hebrew. Your story don't begin in America, for forever, you were born as a Jew, made a slave in Egypt and all around the world. You're a Hebrew, brother, you're a Hebrew. 400 years in captivity, the facts don't lie. You can bury the truth, but the truth won't die. You can stain on glass, won't change the facts that our Lord Jesus Christ is black. You can rewrite the past, that don't really fly. You can remake a movie, you can try and deny. You can paint him white on the cross, can't change the facts. Lord Jesus is black. The greatest deception was turning day to night. Is to say black Jesus is why.
Nation, you can't stop us. Slavery couldn't break us, so we won't stop. We rise to the top, even though you thought not. We the true Hebrews, though you caught block. We won't stop. Evil nation, you can't stop us. Slavery couldn't break us, so we won't stop. We rise to the top, even though you thought not. We the true Hebrews, though you caught block. We won't stop. God created man in his very own image. What the Father has begun, the Son will finish. The people of God spoke Hebrew, not Yiddish. What the white man destroyed, the Lord will finish. The people of God has the mark of the Lord, identifying factors that no one can ignore. Feet of bronze, hair of wool, and among the poor, Jesus Christ was a black man waiting at the front door, screaming Let me in. If you do, I will dwell in you. Wash your feet, make your heart brand new. Let me in, I will take away your sin. I will love you like my kin. Don't reject the Hebrew skin. Let me in. The true Hebrews were meant to be a blessing to the nations, but their heritage was erased during slavery, and they were replaced by fake Jews. Deuteronomy 28 tells the story. Hebrew nation, you can't stop us. Slavery couldn't break us, so we won't stop. We rise to the top, even though you thought not. We the true Hebrews, though you cock block. We won't stop. Hebrew nation, you can't stop us. Slavery couldn't break us, so we won't stop. We rise to the top, even though you thought not. We the true Hebrews, though you cock block. We won't stop. Yeah, man, you gotta know your Bible, man. Revelations chapter 2, verse 9, and Revelation chapter 3, verse 9 speak of the true Jews. We the true Jews, you the fake nation, you can't stop us. Slavery couldn't break us, so we won't stop. We rise to the top, even though you thought not. We the true Hebrews, though you cock block. We won't stop. Hebrew nation, you can't stop us. Slavery couldn't break us, so we won't stop. We rise to the top, even though you thought not. We the true Hebrews, though you cock block. We won't stop.